right, you guys, with the document I've provided, you are going to choose one of the quilt patterns to create a design in Google Drawing. Essentially, we're just using geometric shapes and some color gradations to create our square of a quilt that we're going to put together as a class. For looking at these examples, I just wanted to go with something simple in the example so you don't have to watch me work forever. I'm choosing this one over here. It's called the Dutchman. I'm going to close this and I have a larger example ready for us here. In Google Drive, remember to open Google Draw. We need to hit New and More. It is hiding over here. There's our Google Drawings. Remember the gray and white checkerboard is a blank canvas. There is essentially nothing there, not even a background. First, we're going to start by changing the size of our paper. Go down from File to Page Setup. I would like this to be a square, so we need to go to Custom. Let's change this to 6. Let's change this to 6, and we'll keep it as inches. If this does not say inches, please change it to inches, and then hit Apply. Now you have a square canvas to work on. I'm going to shrink this a little bit so I can kind of see what I'm trying to copy over here. You need to use analogous colors for your color scheme. So choose your color looking at the color wheel to start with. We're going to start, I suggest, you don't have to do this, but I suggest you fill the background first. It's just sort of a safety net so you don't have any white gaps showing. Right click, background, choose a color. I'm not going to imitate these colors. I feel like going with cool colors, so I'm going to do all blues and greens and purples. And I'm going to choose a background. You get to choose whatever you want. So I'm going green. Now, next step, after you have filled your background, I highly recommend you give yourself some guidelines. Depending on your design, you may want to do a cross, so down and across, or you may want to do an X corner to corner. I'm going to do a cross. I think that'll be the most helpful to keep me centered, to keep my work symmetrical. I'm going to click on this right here, line. When I come over here, my mouse now looks like a little cross. I'm going to try to line it up right under the 3 at the edge of my canvas. Click, let go, and it's going to do that. I can grab that as soon as it turns into a cross again, and I can drag it any place I like. I'm going to try to take it straight down. Now look at the top. Do you see where the number 3 is? When I have my line angled, do you see those little blue lines? They're moving. We want those all lined up on top of each other. That's how I know that my line is perfectly straight and lined up with where I started it. Let go when you're happy and you've got a little line here now to be a guideline. I'm going to do the same thing. Whoops, my mouse went back to being an arrow, to being the select tool. I need it to be a line again, so click that again. And I'm going to try to line up with the 3. Click. And then drag that on over. And again, look for those little blue guidelines on the left side by the number 3. And I'm trying to get them all lined up on top of each other. That's how I know I've got it straight. At this point, you can actually drag this around. I can move it down or I can move it up. So that's another thing I can do to make sure I have it on the 3. I can do the same here. Let's make sure. When I hit the center, it turns red. Do you see how it's red right now? I know that I'm in the right spot. It does that for you. It gives you little tips. Once you've got a background color and some guidelines down, we're going to go ahead and start putting in shapes. Now remember, I'm using analogous colors, so I'm going to stick with blues and purples, I think, and some greens for the rest of this. We're going to use the shape tool. This is the easiest. You have some other options, but I'm going to start with the shape tool. I'm using triangles to copy this design, and this triangle here looks like the best bet for me. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to decide I'm going to aim for making the triangle as close as I can to the picture to start with. So click, drag. I can stretch that triangle any old way I like. Now, wait a minute. That's not what I wanted. What if I go over here? It's going to stay with that axis on the left. I'm going to have to make it and flop it around here a little bit. When I let go, look what happens. It automatically turns light blue with a black outline. We'll deal with that in a minute. When I have my mouse over the shape, my mouse changes to that cross with arrows. I'm going to click and drag now. I can drag it around without it changing. Because what I need to grab is this little floater dot. Remember that loner up there? He's the guy that lets me rotate. So I can turn this. I want that flat side up and down, and I'm going to drag it over here And once I hit that line, my guideline, remember, it turned red. And I can fuss with this just a little bit. Aim for perfection here and you'll be happy in the end. Now, right now, I am trying to do cool colors. So for every shape that you lay down, you must eliminate the outline. This button right here, it looks like a pen with a black underline. It's an outline. You could change the color of the outline, but I want you to have no outline. So you're going to change that to transparent. It's going to make it go away. I can change the color of this now. I expect at least half the shapes that you finish to have a gradient. You may make custom gradients, or you may use some of the provided gradients. I will let you decide. You can decide what looks good just by clicking and saying, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Now, with that already done, let's see. I know that I need to fit another triangle in here. I look like I kind of nailed it, don't I? I could add a guideline here to help me. I'm going to click here, add a guideline right at 4.5 because this is a 3-inch box. Half of that is 4.5. So I'll just make myself a little guideline there. I think my tip of my triangle is pretty much perfect. So you can add guidelines anywhere you need to help you divide out your square spaces and keep things symmetrical. I'm going to go ahead and just copy this. I want this triangle a bunch of times. That's super easy. That's like what I told you guys. This particular quilt piece is almost too easy. I'm going to click. I don't know what tool I'm on, so I'm going to make sure I'm on my pointer tool and click back on this triangle. I can just copy it now. If I like that size and I think it's good, I'm going to right click it, copy it, right click anywhere and hit paste. And now I've got it duplicated. It duplicated and moved it slightly to the side. I can just take this and drag it over and put it on that guideline. And now I've got 2. Outline already removed for me. Color, gradient, done. Except when I look at this, the colors changed. So I think I'm going to have fun right here. And I'm going to select this. I'm going to change the color to a different color gradient. Ooh, how about purple? I don't really like that. It's too dark. How about this one? That one's okay, but I sort of like the radial style of gradient better, so I'm going to stick with that. Now I've got these 2 triangles. I can copy. What have I done? I added a text box. No. Undo. Let me try that again. I'm going to click on the box, right click, copy, right click, paste. Now I've got the same triangle. I'm going to drag it down here and it's time to rotate it. I'm going to grab the loner dot. I don't know what the technical name is, so I made that up. Try to get it as straight as I can. I'm going to drag it into place. Not bad. So not perfect. I don't know why I can't quite get it perfect. And I'm going to grab this one. Actually, no, I've got this. This is smarter. I'm going to paste this 2 more times and rotate it around. Watch me work. Now that I've got that little windmill shape going around done, I can start copying and pasting my purple one. Your requirements are to have at least 20 shapes. You may count shapes like this. I can count each of these green triangles as a shape. So background color shape works. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You get the idea. That's about 24 shapes on there. Before you may turn this in, I would like the guidelines erased. Uh-oh, how am I going to do that? Try to click on just the line, hit delete, and it will disappear. If you're having troubles clicking on just the line, just slide your triangle out of the way for just a second so you can click on that line, hit delete, and drag your triangle back into place. Or whatever your geometric shape is. I have one tucked in here. Also, I need to click on it. I'd like to get rid of that. Getting rid of all black lines is important. It really cleans up the project so it truly looks like a quilt. With that, remember you need to title your drawing, last name. We'll call this quilt. I highly recommend that you start a folder called drawings or something else. Art would be great. So you could title it art so that when you look for it later, you can find it. So store it in a file where you know where it is when you go to attach it to your assignment to turn into me. You could add more details to this if you would like. You may tell me when you turn in that you took something like, oh, I chose the Dutchman and I added other shapes to it. I could continue adding to this and create a much more interesting and complex design, but now you have the basics of how to make a quilt. Actually, I'm going to show you one more thing. So we're going to put this at the end of the video. I apologize. If you need to make a weird shape or you're having troubles getting your triangle or whatever to fit the way you want it to, you can make a shape like this. We're going to change the line, do the drop down arrow, and select polyline. I can choose any area on here. In fact, I'll just go ahead and do that. I'll do these triangles out here. You could do any shape, but click, drag. Everywhere you click is going to make a new corner for a geometric shape until I get all the way back to the beginning. On this last click, it's going to turn into a shape now, just like before. It's light blue with a black outline. I'm going to change that. I'm going to go gradient, dark green. What do you think? No, not that one. That one maybe? And I need to eliminate the outline. Let's make that transparent. And now I've got a cool dark green corner out here. Whoa, I clicked on something. Look what's happening here. When that happens to you, go back to this, the select tool. It looks like your regular mouse arrow. And it will take you away from that line that you're dragging everywhere. I can take this shape now and right click it. I can copy and paste, and now I've got another one of these. So if I want to stick with that exact same shape, once again, I can drag that around to fill in my quilts, or I could just repeat my polyline process. It's up to you. But now I can say when I turn this in that I did extra. I did more to the Dutchman quilt design. I'm going to show you another trick. I don't like how this one is fitting. Down at the bottom, do you see that light green gap I have? I can adjust this little triangle shape. Even though it's from my polyline tool, I can still change it. I'm going to grab this corner and just drag that corner and see if just that little tweak will change the shape of my triangle to fit better because I want it to fill that space. I'm also unhappy with this one. I'm going to click here and try dragging it to fill. And now I'm happier. Make sure you look for little details like that. That's what makes good art in the end. And now I'm done. Good work.